that's gonna kind of decide where I go for this afternoon. But it was a good morning sit. It's kind of windy, but it's not cold. I heard a couple of moose, which is pretty cool, but I'm having a real hard time sitting. Well, guys, please ignore my dirty camper in the background. I just got back from sitting this morning. So when I got back home from sitting, I had a conversation with Keenan that I just needed to hear. Basically, thought it would make more sense that I sit over on our south piece because that's where we're seeing more deer, but they're just not really the deer that I am targeting and aiming to get this season. And Keenan said that if it was him and he had his mindset on, getting a mature buck, then he would go to the northwest piece and just sit it out. He said if he just wanted to put meat in the freezer and call it a season, he would go sit the south piece. He said, so in reality, it's, what you're wanting more. So I am going to go sit the northwest piece tonight, and I'm going to hunt it hard the next couple days. I sat it last night randomly on a whim, and a doe came out, so that was cool. And if I end this season with no deer, I'm completely fine with that. I luckily have bear meat in the freezer, but it's just such an up and down thing. Like, I really want to tag out on a nice mature buck, but I really want to have deer meat in the freezer. So everyone understands this, but that's the plan for this afternoon. So I just checked cameras on this food plot I'm sitting on. I sat it last night and saw a doe, and then I put a camera out and put some rutting buck and doe and heat out, and I had does all over it all night, and then I had a shooter buck on it this morning at 10. And then I checked my camera that I put on a scrape, and I had does checking that scrape out during the day and a buck running past it and then coming back around 9 a.m. So it's on. I'm super excited, but yeah, I'm going to sit. Let's go. Good morning, you guys. I am going back to sit the same spot. There's like 5 minutes until shooting hour. I'm late as usual, and it's gonna be a warm one today, so look at the pretty colors. I hate waking up, but I love the colors, so let's get down there and sit and see what happens. I've just been intently watching, because yesterday on camera I had them here at 7:30 a.m. and then at 10 a.m. a nice buck came through. So I don't know if they're full on chasing, but they're checking them out, following them around, so there's a good chance that he just scoots through. So I just got done checking cameras. The only buck on camera was actually last night at 3:20 when I was sitting and I heard him behind me. I heard something that sounded like a deer smelling something and then kind of jumping off, and that's what it was. He was just right in front of the camera that was behind me, so that was cool. He was small 8. I'll put a picture of him up here. I went to check another camera that's on a scrape that I got a picture of the buck I'm pursuing on, and I walked down in and there was a bird, and I'm like, oh my god, a bird, I haven't shot one all year. And I'm like, well, it's meant to be if I can turn around, go back to the truck, get my gun, come back and shoot you. So I did just that, and he was like 5 feet in front of me. So got a nice bird. He's actually pretty big. Let me see if I can. It's got a nice big fan. So, first bird of the season on November, what's today, 17th? November 17th, and I finally shot a bird. That's sad. We're just gonna go back and sit for the rest of the evening because that's just all that I can do right now. They're rutting, they're chasing, all I can do is sit. Hello you guys, and welcome to the next day. It's been a wet one. Trying to keep my things and myself dry, so finally